Bray Wyatt's new character brutally bashed Becky Lynch on whether she prefers being a heel or babyface. WWE SmackDown draws crazy ratings without Roman Reigns. Sasha Banks joining AEW. Cody Rhodes on getting fired from his first job. Breaking. Triple H forced to not bring CM Punk back, and more. Let's jump right in. Becky Lynch on whether she prefers being a heel or babyface. Becky Lynch recently discussed which role she enjoys playing in WWE, whether it's being a good guy or a villain. Big Time Bex rose to the top after turning heel for the first time on the main roster in 2018 and becoming the man. Her popularity led her to the main event of WrestleMania 35, where she became the first person to hold the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championship at the same time. Following the event, she had a lengthy title reign as a babyface and feuded with heel stars such as Shayna Baszler and Lacey Evans. Speaking at New York City Advertising Week, Becky Lynch stated that she prefers being a heel because there's more freedom and it's a win-win situation whether people like you or not. I think human nature is we just generally don't want to like people, and certainly that's Twitter nature. So you have so much freedom that you can do anything, you can have fun. If people don't like you, well, I'm doing my job well. If people like you, well, you're so entertaining, how can people not like you? It's a lot easier, it's a lot more fun in that aspect, said Lynch. After the 2020 Money in the Bank event, Big Time Bex took a break from WWE and Asuka was crowned the new Raw Women's Champion. She returned after a 15-month hiatus at SummerSlam last year as a face, only to turn heel soon after. On the same interview at New York City Advertising Week, Becky Lynch commented on what it's like for her to play a babyface, admitting that the WWE Universe roots for underdogs who have to overcome obstacles. Being a babyface, I tend to naturally fall into it. I think, honestly, I'm not the greatest athlete in the world, and I think my story of perseverance has registered with a lot of people. Fans can get behind that underdog who constantly has to overcome, said Lynch. The man is currently sidelined with a separated shoulder which she sustained at SummerSlam during her match against Bianca Belair. The WWE Universe is eagerly awaiting her return to the ring. Do you prefer heel or babyface Becky Lynch? Sound off in the comments below. Becky Lynch on facing major WWE star at WrestleMania. Multi-time women's champion Becky Lynch recently discussed her match against Bianca Belair at WrestleMania 38 for the Raw Women's Championship. The EST of WWE earned the right to challenge for the title after winning the Women's Elimination Chamber match in Saudi Arabia. Their rivalry was months in the making, beginning at SummerSlam last year, where Big Time Bex defeated Belair within 30 seconds to become champion. During a recent appearance at New York City Advertising Week, Becky Lynch spoke about her match against Bianca Belair at the grandest stage of them all. She stated that it was one of her career highlights, and despite coming out on the losing end, the contest stole the show. One of my most recent career highlights was at WrestleMania against Bianca Belair. I didn't get the win, but we stole the show, we stole that weekend, and that felt like an accomplishment. Big Time Bex went on to talk about how the perception around women's wrestling has become more progressive and that she is privileged to be a part of it. There's been so many, and I've been so lucky and privileged that I've been in a time with women and people that are so progressive in terms of changing the way women are viewed in the business, which has been so predominantly male for so many years, said Lynch. Big Time Bex is one of the most decorated female superstars in the history of the wrestling business. Her accolades include winning the Women's Royal Rumble match, headlining multiple premium live events, and holding the women's title on 6 occasions. Becky Lynch included some of them as part of her career highlights and how she has been a staple of the developing women's division, and being one of the first people in the Women's Royal Rumble and having the first women's ladder match. There's just been a series of firsts, and I think one is not better than the other. It's been a whole story of how do we present the way women are perceived in this business, and it's awesome that I've been able to be a strong part of it. The former women's champion is currently sidelined with an injury and is expected to return by the end of the year. Lynch's last match for the company also came against Bianca Belair at SummerSlam, where the latter retained her Raw Women's title. What's your favorite Becky Lynch moment in WWE? Sound off in the comments below. WWE SmackDown draws crazy ratings without Roman Reigns. SmackDown witnessed a bump in overnight ratings this week despite undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns not making an appearance. This week's episode of SmackDown emanated from the Huntington Center in Toledo, Ohio. The show featured some of the biggest stars of the Blue brand, including former WWE Champion Bray Wyatt. Spoiler TV reported that this week's episode garnered an average of 2.163 million viewers. This was up from last week's overnight numbers of 2.129 million. The first hour of the show drew 2.175 million, while the second hour had 2.082 million viewers tuning in. The show garnered a 0.5 rating in the key 18 minutes 49 demographic. The show opened with a singles match between Sheamus and Solo Sikoa. Both the Brawling Brutes and the Bloodline were at ringside during the matchup. As the action in the ring intensified, the Usos attacked Ridge Holland and Butch. Sheamus also fell victim to the spinning solo after distraction from Sami Zayn. After the match, the Bloodline launched a 4-on-1 attack on Sheamus, smashing his arm with a steel chair on the ring steps. Later in the show, Bray Wyatt delivered a promo with a haunting message to the WWE Universe. Liv Morgan and Sonya Deville were in a singles match that ended in a double countout as the two women brawled on the outside. However, Liv showed her aggressive nature when she superplexed Sonya onto a pile of steel chairs in the ring. Braun Strowman and Omos also faced off in the ring as the Nigerian giant pushed Strowman outside. Damaged CTRL successfully defended the Women's Tag Team Championships against Raquel Rodriguez and Shotzi. In another singles encounter, Rey Mysterio outwitted Imperium to get the better of Ludwig Kaiser and send a message to Intercontinental Champion Gunther. In the final segment of the show, Jey Uso attacked Logan Paul. Honorary U Sami Zayn tried to stop the ambush, but the YouTube sensation bounced back and knocked out Uso with a single punch. What did you think of SmackDown this week? Sound off in the comments section below. Sasha Banks joining AEW. Sasha Banks is currently out of action. However, the suspended WWE star has continued to be in the headlines, mainly due to her ventures outside of the squared circle. It has been over 5 months since Banks and Naomi infamously walked out of WWE due to issues with the company's creative direction. The duo was suspended indefinitely due to their actions and stripped of the Women's Tag Team Championship. The boss recently made her return to the ring as she visited Lucha Libre Barcelona during her trip to Spain, where she trained with some of its members. The former SmackDown Women's Champion also met Japanese wrestler Miyu Yamashita in Spain after an interaction between the two on social media. Miyu recently took to Twitter to post a picture of herself alongside the boss. Miyu is currently signed to Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. She has also competed in Tony Khan's promotion where she unsuccessfully challenged Thunder Rosa for the AEW Women's Championship. Sasha Banks is one of the most popular female wrestlers of all time. The boss has been at the top of WWE's women's division since signing with the company in 2012. Other than her natural charisma and promo abilities, Banks is one of the best performers inside the squared circle, and the idea of a potential match between her and Miyu Yamashita sent internet fans into a frenzy. American professional wrestler Veda Scott also reacted to the picture of the duo, calling the potential match between them a dream match. Sasha Banks has stayed off the wrestling radar since walking out of WWE in May. The former SmackDown Women's Champion has been busy with non-wrestling ventures, and there is no word on when she could be back in action. She recently teased a match against former WWE star Kairi Sane, who's currently competing in Stardom in Japan. Seeing the boss engage with Kairi and Yamashita is sure to spark additional rumors about her future, as she has previously been open about her ambition to wrestle in Japan. Where would you like to see Sasha Banks compete next? Sound off in the comments and let us know. Cody Rhodes on getting fired from his first job. WWE superstar Cody Rhodes recently answered a question on Twitter about the first job he had. He also revealed to fans the unique reason why he was fired from there. Given his family's legacy, born to Dusty Rhodes and as the brother of Dustin Rhodes, perhaps it was always destined for the American Nightmare to make the jump to wrestling. However, long before he worked in WWE or even wrestled, Cody Rhodes worked for a bagel store, Einstein Bros. Bagels. While he appears to have thoroughly enjoyed his work there, it didn't last long. Replying to a tweet from Alicia Adout asking about the first job people worked at, Cody Rhodes shared his own experience. He said that when he was younger, he worked at Einstein Bros. The star revealed that they were all allowed to have one bagel per shift. However, he found a way to have more than what was allowed. He pretended that a make-believe person named William ordered a bagel and then ate it himself. At Einstein Bros, you were allowed one bagel a shift. I went into the dining area 4 times a day. A cinnamon sugar bagel toasted with honey almond spread and called out William, toasted bagel. There was no William, it was for me. I was terminated. Love that place though forever. The bagel store seemed more than happy at this mention by the star and replied to his tweet. They told him they loved him and slyly plugged a couple of bagels. While he may be reminiscing about the days when he could eat 4 bagels a shift, Cody Rhodes is currently hard at work trying to recover from the injury that put him on the sideline. The American Nightmare suffered a torn pectoral muscle but still competed at his scheduled match inside the Hell in a Cell chamber against Seth Rollins. However, he was given a timetable of 9 months by WWE before he could return to action. As it turns out, according to the latest reports, Rhodes is ahead of schedule and may return sooner than initially expected. Rhodes appears to be a little ahead of schedule in healing. He's working with DDP. Things are normal for him in real life, but obviously any upper body weights he can use are extremely light. There's no firm date for a return this early, and even when there is, I would expect it'll be kept quiet for a surprise pop. Originally, the idea of Rumble looked good. Perhaps day one since it's in Atlanta and he grew up and still lives there. Now, with rumors of the Day 1 event being cancelled, the Royal Rumble might still be the earliest that fans get to see Cody Rhodes in the ring once again. Are you excited to see Rhodes return to the ring? Let us know in the comments section below. Breaking: Triple H forced to not bring CM Punk back. Triple H and CM Punk have not always seen eye to eye. However, the chief content officer of WWE is not entirely against bringing Punk back to the Stanford-based promotion if and when he leaves AEW. However, someone in the company is unwilling to have the former AEW World Champion back. There has been a number of speculations regarding Punk's future with AEW. He has not been seen or heard from since his backstage brawl with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks after All Out. He was also stripped of the AEW World Championship, and some reports stated that the company is looking to buy out Punk's contract. Wade Keller of PW Torch noted on his podcast that Triple H is much more likely to bring CM Punk back to WWE than Vince McMahon was. He stated that while McMahon never saw a major star in Punk, Triple H has a tendency to listen to the fans and do what could be beneficial for the product. However, someone in his sphere is against the idea of Punk returning. Somebody who's currently in WWE and is within the sphere of influence of Paul Levesque's decision-making would be a hard no as of me asking this person today. A hard no on endorsing the return of CM Punk, even if it would help business. Wade Keller revealed that a certain person did not think bringing Punk was a good idea regardless of whether he would draw or not. The reason for the apprehension is not only his past behavior in WWE, but also how he conducted himself in AEW. But when I asked, I got a long paragraph of one sentence after another of negative comments about how they feel about Punk now, compared to 8, 9, 10 years ago, based on what's happened in AEW in the last 13 months. He also said that he spoke to 3 different people from AEW and that the locker room will likely not be in favor of Punk returning to the company. Furthermore, he stated that he believes that Triple H could possibly bring the former WWE champion back, but would have to face a lot of opposition. Bray Wyatt's new character bashed. Wrestling legend Dutch Mantel recently spoke about Bray Wyatt's WWE character, highlighting a potential issue with the same. After being released from his contract in July 2021, the former Universal Champion returned to the Stanford-based company earlier this month at Extreme Rules 2022. He has since made a few appearances on SmackDown. Speaking on Storytime with Dutch Mantel, the wrestling legend revealed that he is still not the biggest fan of Bray Wyatt. I'm still not the biggest fan of Bray, but it's not up to me to set the market value. It's up to fans. And what I'm saying, if you'd like Bray Wyatt, more power to you. But I don't think, other than his merchandise sales, which is astronomical I heard, I don't think he added that much to the live gates or the pay-per-view base because he would just go in the ring and just beat guys up. Where's the heat in that? There's no heat. He also pointed out a possible problem with Wyatt's on-screen persona. I mean, he didn't, but he just beat guys. So how are you gonna boo a guy that basically just beat another guy straight up? What are you mad about? Nothing. He just beat him. So that was the only problem I saw with him, he said. Despite criticizing Bray Wyatt's on-screen moniker, legendary booker Dutch Mantel admitted that the former Universal Champion moved the needle regarding merchandise sales in WWE. Speaking on Storytime with Dutch Mantel, the veteran ringside manager said that merchandise sales are what the company is looking at with Wyatt. As a merchandiser and a merchandise mover, I think he really moved the needle on that, and that's what they're looking at because guess what's coming? In Christmas. We're a little too late for that, but still that is a marketing tool they can use for Halloween. But Christmas is coming, the biggest part of the year, gift buying and all this, and they're going to get his stuff out ready for that. They're already planning for that, he added.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing